Wait. What do you like about this girl? I mean, there's like a lot of things. I'd probably start with...
I like the way she smiles. She got me staring for a while. Yeah. Baby, it's our conversation. She's my favorite notification. She knows how to dress for special occasions. She got me thinking life could be better. These songs start to feel like love letters.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to crochet a super cute no-sew coquette makeup patch. It's so easy and definitely for beginners who would love to bring their beauty kits, something personally handmade. So grab your yarn and hook and let's jump right in. So I'm using this 8-ply milk cotton yarn. So if you're using another yarn, make sure you use something sturdier. And also a 5-ply milk cotton yarn in white. Next, I use a 5mm crochet hook, a 3.5mm crochet hook, and a lesser hook size. You also need the buttons for this one. Don't worry, I didn't buy mine. I just rip it off from my old clothes. And don't forget your crochet bestie, the stitch markers. So let's start. Make a slip stitch. Then chain 25. So this is how long my pouch is gonna be. If you want it to be longer, you can always add more chains. Now, if you are satisfied with the length, chain 1, get your stitch marker, insert it into the last chain. Let's skip the last 2 chains and work 1 single crochet on the 3rd chain. And on the rest of the chain. Now, this will be our foundation chain. If you're done making the last chain, turn your work. Make sure the working yarn is across you, like this. And hold the chains like this. Now, this is very important. Insert your hook into the first chain. Make 1 single crochet. Get your stitch marker and place it on the chain. Then continue making 1 single crochet on the rest of the chain until you've reached this marker. Now that you've reached this end marker, remove the marker and make 1 single crochet. Then turn your work again. Make sure the working yarn is across you and make 1 single crochet on the first chain. Put a stitch marker and continue making 1 single crochet until you've reached this end marker. So, it is very important to put a stitch marker if you're a beginner so that you will have straight edges. So, you're gonna repeat this process until you have 26 rows. If you have 26 rows now, put the stitch marker on the end of these rows. Make sure that the stitch marker you use is the same color so you will not get confused. You can always add more rows if you want a deeper pouch. If you're now satisfied with your base, let's make the flap by making additional 6 rows. So in total, I have now 32 rows. Then on the next succeeding rows, we're gonna decrease each rows by 2. So that's decreasing 1 chain at both ends. So let's start at 33. Insert your hook into the first chain. Yarn over but do not pull through it yet. What you're gonna do is insert your hook into the second chain, yarn over, and then you're gonna have a total of 3 loops into your hook. Then you're gonna yarn over the 3 at once. So that will result to only 1 chain. Now get your stitch marker, put it on the first chain, then continue making 21 single crochet on the rest of the chain until you've reached the third to the last chain. Then you've reached the second to the last chain. Just like what we did earlier, we're gonna decrease this part. So insert your hook into the second chain, yarn over but do not pull through it yet. Insert your hook into the last chain, which where the stitch marker is. Yarn over, so now you have 3 loops into your hook. Pull through all at once, so that will result into only 1 chain. Get your stitch marker and put a stitch marker into that chain. So for that row, for the row 33, you should have a total of 23 chains. So from 25 chains, we have decreased it to 23 chains. Insert your hook into the first chain, yarn over but do not pull through it yet. Instead, you insert your hook into the second chain, yarn over, and then pull 3 all at once. So that will result in only 1 chain. Then get your stitch marker, put the stitch marker onto that first chain, and then continue making 1 single crochet until you've reached the second to the last chain. So if you've reached the second to the last chain, insert your hook into the second chain, yarn over, insert your hook into the last chain where the stitch marker is, yarn over, and then pull 3 loops at once. So for the row 34, you should have a total of 21 chains. So if you have a total of 21 chains now, we're gonna count 11 from this side and put a stitch marker into it because this is where we will insert our button. Continue crocheting. So for this row 35, we're gonna decrease again on both ends. Then if you've reached the middle stitch marker, skip the marker but chain 1, then continue making 1 single crochet on the next chain so it will leave a little hole for our button. Then continue crocheting. So for the row 35, you should have a total of 19 chains. So for the row 36, we're still gonna decrease both ends by 1. So on the top of the single chain, make 1 single crochet. Then continue making single crochet. And on the end, don't forget to decrease by 1. So for the row 36, you should have a total of 17 chains. Then cut the working yarn. Fold the crochet by 12 rows. Align it with the marker we put earlier and put a stitch marker into both sides. Now, let's connect both ends by using the same yarn. Make a slip stitch. Then I also use a smaller crochet hook size, which is a 3.5mm crochet hook for this part. So, insert your hook into the end of the corner chains. Chain 1 and then put a stitch marker into it. Make sure that it aligns with both sides. Then continue making 1 single crochet on the edges. What crochet projects you want me to make next? Comment down below because I love hearing your thoughts. So if you have reached the flap, continue making one single crochet along the flaps. If you have reached the other end, make sure that they align. To do this, insert multiple stitch markers, because when the time that I was doing this, it actually moved. And now cut your working yarn. We're nearing the end of this tutorial. So for the next, get your white yarn and a 3.5mm crochet hook. Make a slip stitch and insert your hook into the stitch marker. Chain 1, and make 2 half double crochet on one chain on the rest of the chain. Chain 1 and pull tight. Then cut the working yarn. Then what I did with all the excess yarns is I didn't cut them off exactly, because I hide them under these chains using a smaller hook size and tie them securely, and then cut the excess. The other excess yarns, I tie it inside the pouch. So, let's attach the button using the same yarn. Get your threading needles and button. Since I'm using a 8 ply and it's too thick, I separate it in half and just use 4 plies. Insert your hook into the hole using the needle to measure where you'll put the needle. If you want to count it, it's in the middle of the 12 and 13 chain from the base. Then tie your working yarn, insert it from underneath, and sew along the button. I love it so much. I use this every day for my makeup kits. And I also have this hair clip. Next up, we're going to make these super cute hair clips. Again, thank you for watching this video, and I appreciate you for making up until this point. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video.